You're welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to learn how to answer YSSE questions on adjectives. I am Romeso Adeyemo with the brand name English with RMG, and this video is proudly brought to you by IOTA Virtual Learning Platform. This video is the second part of the series that I made on adjectives. So if you are yet to watch the first part, I'm going to drop the link in the description below so you can go there to watch that first before you come back here to continue this interesting lesson. So in this video, you are going to learn the detailed explanation on all you need to know to excel in your YSSE English exam with lots of practical past question solving. So are you ready? Let's continue. So in the last video, we stopped at regular adjectives, which forms their comparative and superlative just by adding er or more and est or most to the base adjective, just like you can see on the screen. I've explained that earlier. So we have the regular adjectives as well, which changes their comparative and superlative, such as good, better, best, bad, worse, etc. So now let's look at the examples of these in sentences. Do you understand? So for positive, we can have he is a wise man. So we are using wise because we are referring to only one person. So we are going to use the positive form of adjective. But when we are comparing between two persons, please listen here because this is very important. Students often make mistake here. You say he is the wiser of the two brothers, not he is the wisest of the two brothers, because the comparison is between two persons. And when we are comparing between two persons, make sure that you are using the comparative form of your adjective. Do you understand? So let's move on to the third one, which is the superlative. So for the superlative, we have he is the wisest of the three brothers. That is, superlative is used to show comparison among three or more persons. Do you understand? Or when we are not even told, like we say, he's the wisest in his class. When a general noun is used like that, we want to assume that we have more than two persons in the class. So we use the superlative form. Do you understand? So let's consider a few questions on this from the past question. So we have question 64 from 2016 WAEC past question. So it reads, the sport I like dash is swimming. The sport I like dash is swimming. So for sports, we all know that there are lots of sports in the world. Do you understand? So we have football, we have volleyball, we have handball, we have hockey, lots of them. Do you understand? So when I now say the sports that I like dash. So that means we are going to be using our superlative form. So let's look at the option. Option A, better. Better is from the comparative, so we can't have it here. B, much. Much is used to show higher degree, so you cannot use much. C, most is our superlative. Do you understand? D is more. That is another form of comparative, so we can't have it here because we are comparing among three or more sports. Do you understand? So that's why our answer is what? C, most. So the answer will read, the sport I like most is swimming. Do you understand? So let's move on to another question, which is question 67 from 2011 past question. It reads, which of the two questions is dash? So our comparison here is going to be between two. Do you understand? So we have A, most difficult, B, the much difficult, C, the most difficult, D, more difficult. So our answer cannot be most difficult because we already said most is the superlative, which is three or more. It can also be much. Much is higher in degree. Do you understand? But here we are only comparing. So C, the most difficult, superlative again. Then the only place where we have a comparative is what? D, more difficult. So our answer is what? More difficult. So the sentence will read, which of the two questions is more difficult? Do you understand? So let's look at another question again on the same topic. So we have question 51 from 2023 WAEC past question. It reads, James appears dash wiser than his friends. So I also need you to pay attention here. We've already compared this. This has already been compared. We already have wiser. So what is going to fit into this space? Let's look at the options before we pick our answer. So option A, more. B, most. C, much. D, much more. So what is likely to be our answer? We can't say more wiser. Sometimes people say this, but it is grammatically incorrect. When you say more wiser, you are using double comparative, which is wrong. Do you understand? You can also say most wiser. Do you understand? So because most is superlative, wiser is comparative, you can't combine both at a time. So but when you say much wiser, much is used to show higher in degree. That is, he is not just wiser, but his level of wisdom is higher in degree, quite much higher. Do you understand? So our answer is what? Much. You can also say much more because that would also be another unnecessary repetition of what? Comparative. Do you understand? So our answer is what? C. Much wiser. James appears much wiser than his friends. So another question again, we have question 54 from 2023 while past question. So it reads, the material used for sewing my dress is dash to yours. So I have myself in that sentence and I also have the person I'm speaking to. So that's comparison between how many persons? Two persons. My dress and your dress. So since we are comparing between two persons, we know that we are going to be using our comparative form. Do you understand? So let's look at the options. Option A, most superior. B, most superior. C, superior. D, very superior. So one thing about the word superior is that it is an adjective that is not comparable. It's like it is formed from the word super, but it is often used to show that something is higher in rank already. Do you understand? So you cannot compare it. You cannot say more superior. You cannot say most superior. So the only thing you can use is what? Superior. Do you understand? So you can only say the material used for sewing my dress is superior to yours. So our answer is what? C. My dress is superior to yours. I hope you are getting the tips and the tricks, and I hope you are enjoying this lesson. If you have other question, you can put it in the comment section below. I will be glad to answer your questions. And if you need to pause the video for a while to take some things in, you can do so as well. So let's move on to adjectives of quantity. What we finished explaining is adjective of quality. So now let's move on to adjectives of quantity. So adjectives of quantity describe the measurement, amount, or extent of something. Do you understand? So we have examples which include much, huge, some, a little, little, all, any, half, full, whole, enough, etc. These adjectives of quantity is actually a form of a full topic on its own, which is usually called quantifiers. Do you understand? But they are also a form of adjectives because they quantify nouns. So now let's look at a few rules guiding the usage of adjectives of quality. So we have the rule guiding little versus a little. There are lots of questions on this from the past questions. So let's look at the rule. So little and a little are both used to quantify non-count nouns, otherwise known as uncountable nouns, such as water, salt, sugar, oil, fall. So whenever you want to quantify a non-count noun, you use little or a little. So the difference between the two and a little is that little means not much and consequently not enough, while a little means not much but still enough for what it is needed for. So, for example, if I say, I have little oil in the kitchen, I'm saying I don't have enough. So, the next thing will be that I cannot prepare jollof rice and chicken. That is, it is so little that it is not enough. But if I say I have a little oil in the kitchen, I'm saying I don't have much, but it is enough. So, the next thing will be that I have a little oil in the kitchen, I can prepare jollof rice and chicken. Do you understand the difference between the two now? Little, not much, not enough. A little, not much, but enough. So let's also look at the rule guiding the use of few versus a few because they are very similar before we go into the questions. So few and a few are both used to quantify count nouns such as oranges, books, cars, trees, students, etc. So again, the difference between few and a few is also similar to that of little and a little. So the difference is that not many means, sorry, a few means not many but enough, while few means not many and consequently not enough. So if I say I have few oranges in the kitchen, I'm saying I don't have enough. So the next thing will be that I cannot prepare an orange juice. But if I say I have a few oranges left in the kitchen, I'm saying that I have enough to prepare orange juice. Although it is not many, but it is enough to prepare orange juice. Do you understand? I hope you get the explanation correctly. Now let's go to the past question to solve practical questions on this. So we have question 60 from 2010 WAEC question. Mr. Icon needed dash help to succeed in the business. So the first thing to look out for is the noun that we have here. Is it count or non-count? Help is non-count. Do you understand? So the next thing to look at is out for is the context. Is the context suggesting that what is needed is enough? Or what is being talked about, it is not enough? So we said help to succeed. So if it is enough for him to succeed, then we are saying that it is enough, even though it is not much. Do you understand? So by that explanation, I want to believe that you already know our answer. But let's look at the option. We have a little, B, a few, C, little, D, few. So I was going to put what? A little, because if you say a few is only used with what? Count nouns, and help is not a count noun. Do you understand? So little means not enough. But here we need something that is enough for him to succeed in the business. And few is also for non-count. Do you understand? So that is why our answer is what? Our answer is a little. Mr. Akon needed a little help to succeed in the business. So let's consider another question, which is question 61 from WAEC 2012. So we have the cook add dash oil and so could not prepare the soup. So the first thing is to look at the noun. Is it count or non-count? Oil is non-count noun, of course. Do you understand? So now the context. Does the context suggest that it is enough or it is not enough? So the context says that so could not prepare the soup. So that means it is not enough. Do you understand? So we are going to pick the quantifiers that is often used with non-count nouns that are not enough. And that is what? Little. But let's consider our options before we jump into conclusion. So we have option A, little, B, small, C, some, D, much. So, as a super student of RMG that you are, you already know the answer. It is little. You won't get confused because you're already empowered with the rules. Do you understand? So, our answer is what? A, little. The cook add little oil and so could not prepare the soup. Do you understand? So, let's consider another question. Question 73 from 2009 past question. And this is going to be the last question here. So, we have, well, I've got dash naira notes, but you can have 20 naira. So is our noun count or non-count? Okay, so money is non-count. But here, they didn't mention money, they said naira notes. So the notes are countable, they are count nouns. Do you understand? So we are going to use the quantifier for count noun. Don't get confused. Do you understand? So now, is it enough or not enough? They said you can have. If it's willing to give out, that means it is still enough. Do you understand? So we are going to look out for the enough count noun quantifiers, which is a few. So we cannot say few because it has enough to give out from. We can also say some few, and we cannot say little because naira notes are countable. Do you understand? They are count now. You can count your notes when you have them, whether in naira or any other currency. So answer is what? A few. So the sentence will read, well, I've got a few naira notes, but you can have 20 naira. Again, you are empowered with the rules, so you can't get confused with the options. Do you understand? So always prove it that I'm a student of English with RMG, so I already know all the rules. So let's move on to the next one, which is much to versus too much. So these are also quantifiers and it is extremely crucial as well because there are lots of questions on it in your past question. If you're familiar with the past questions already, you would know that there are lots of questions on this. So let's look at how to use it and the meaning of each. So too much is used to describe excessive quantity that is more than necessary. So while much too is used to describe an excessive degree or quality of something. So with all the explanations I've made from the beginning of this video, part one, then you by now you already automatically know the difference between quality and quantity. So let's look at an example, much too. This book is much too difficult for me. So you cannot say it is too much difficult because difficult is an adjective of quality, not that of quantity. Do you understand? If it is that of quantity, you can say too much. But here it is quality. So you say much too difficult. Example two, this cake is much too sweet. Sweet is also an adjective of quality. Do you understand? Telling us about the taste. So you cannot say too much sweet, no, because we are referring to the quality. For too much, we use too much when we're referring to the quantity, such as the volume of something or how many it is. So you can say, I have too much work to do. That is, the work is voluminous. She ate too much cake at the party. That is also like what? Quantity of the cake that she ate. So when you are referring to quantity, you use too much. When you're referring to quality, you use much too. Do you understand? So if you need to listen to this again to get the concept, you can do so. Now let's move on to the question 55 from 2019 past question. So we have last week's assignment was dash for me. Last week's assignment was dash for me. So let's consider the options. A, much too difficult. In fact, this is a bonus because we already talked about difficult. Too much difficult. Difficult too much. D, much difficult too. So is our answer? Let's start from D. Much difficult too is an incorrect word order. So that's not even an option. Difficult too much is also an incorrect word order. Too much difficult or too much will be used for count nouns. And difficult is not count. So you cannot say too much difficult. So our answer is what? Much too difficult. Difficult is an adjective of quality, not an adjective of quantity. So your answer is going to be what? Much too difficult. Do you understand? A, much too difficult. Last week's assignment was much too difficult for me. So let's look at another question 64 from 2015 past question. So we have the task is dash for us to undertake. The task is dash for us to undertake. So let's look at the options for us to see what is going to be our answer. Option A, much too difficult. Difficult again. So by now you already, I want to assume you already know that when you have difficult in this kind of context, you already know what your answer is. So our answer will be what? Our answer will be what? Much too difficult. The task is much too difficult for us to undertake. So another question from 2012 past question 66. We have our teacher is dashed to make such a mistake. A teacher is dashed to make such a mistake. So let's look at the options for us to see what our possible answer will be. So we have A, too much intelligent. B, intelligent too much. C, much too intelligent. D, too intelligent much. So we've explained types of quality adjectives in the previous video. Intelligent is an example of an adjective of quality. Do you understand? So we are going to use much too. So A, too much intelligence, that's not going to be our answer. Intelligent too much is an incorrect order. Much too intelligent is our answer. Too intelligent much is also an incorrect word order. Do you understand? So the sentence will read, our teacher is much too intelligent to make such a mistake. We are choosing much too because the adjective is an adjective of quality, not that of quantity. Do you understand? If it were to be that of quantity, then we choose too much. I hope you are getting the logic. I hope you understand all that I've been explaining. Please, if you have any question, put it in the comment section. I'll be there to answer. If you don't understand anything at just by listening to it at once, you can pause the video to take it in. You can rewind the video to get more clarity. So now the next thing we are going to talk about is order of adjectives. However, we are going to continue that in the third part of this video. So you can access that right in the description below. Go there now to click the link so that you can enjoy this video till the end. So see you in the next video.